so our podcast today is about the 1 minute cure, and essentially it talks about using hydrogen peroxide, food grade hydrogen peroxide, and you're diluting it in water, in distilled water, and pretty much you're creating an alkaline environment in your body. Yeah, definitely make this test because I'm not using
Is the 1 minute cure a book or?
The 1 minute cure is a book. You can find it free online. You can find it in audiobooks on YouTube. You can find different reviews about it. You can find the research on it. But essentially, if you know what hydrogen peroxide is, it's essentially a water molecule with extra oxygen attached to it. So that extra oxygen is unstably or loosely attached to the hydrogen or to the water molecule. So when you consume it and your body starts to break it down, your body now has two oxygen atoms where it would only have one. So you are supercharging your body with extra boost of oxygen. Oxygen is negatively charged, which makes it alkaline in nature. So you're creating a alkaline body or an alkaline environment in your body. And the theory about this is what Dr. Sebi was talking about. You essentially will eliminate disease. And there's a whole step process to it. If you want to just summarize it, it starts with what you put in your body. That's what essentially it starts with. You are what you eat. So eating acidic foods leads to inflammation. So inflammation is mostly caused, other than by injury or illness, mostly caused by what you're eating. And acidic food does that. So acidic food causes the inflammation, and this is where the mucus comes in, and this is also where the disease comes in. So
That's facts.
So now you have this disease and you're wondering what do you do. So now you go to Western medicine and they give you what they call allopathic. Let me fact check that actually. It's what they call allopathic medicine, which treats symptoms. So it doesn't work just by itself. It doesn't work with you just, like, of course that could improve your life if you were to just do this aspect of ingesting the hydrogen peroxide, but to really cure disease, you would have to essentially probably become like a raw vegan. A raw vegan that's only consuming non-GMO, alkaline foods. And you would have to do this for, from what I've heard, at least 3 months. But, I'm just putting the information out there. Of course, I encourage everyone to do their own research. And also, as a disclaimer, we're not doctors. We're not giving medical advice. This is just purely for research and informational purposes only. So
I have a question. So basically, the summary of it is, the more oxygen you have in your body, the more, the healthier your body is. Because using the hydrogen peroxide you mentioned is adding one extra molecule of oxygen that you normally don't get. But the body naturally takes in oxygen, even by breathing and by doing all that. So do you absolutely need the 1 minute cure with the hydrogen peroxide when your body is naturally continually taking in oxygen?
that's a good question, because yes, your body is naturally taking in oxygen. You breathe oxygen, but the air is not composed of solely oxygen. So for one, we don't know what our air quality is. So
yeah, that's true. I know it depends on where you live, whether you live in the city, whether it's industrial, whether it's a residential area, what kind of smoke goes up the air every time.
Exactly.
So I know that the environment affects the air quality.
I mean, not only that, when your body is already acidic, so your body's acidic, you have this inflammation that you're probably unaware of, and this inflammation is blocking things. This inflammation is blocking certain absorptions. This inflammation is interrupting things. So
the body naturally heals itself, right?
That naturally heals
So-
itself in the right environment. Yes.
Yes. Like all things being equal, the body will heal itself.
The body will heal itself. Yes, with the proper tools, i.e., proper food.
Yeah. So when you have a cut and it heals, that's the body healing that cut and whatever bacteria got in there
Mhm.
while it was open.
Yes. This is
So-
a natural state of our existence.
But you have to eat right for your body to be able to fight those free radicals or diseases that come into your body.
Well,
Or-
actually, I have an interesting kind of just philosophy or theory about that. It's like, can we? Well, some people in America specifically, like not picking on America, but
I mean, that's where we are, so
Well, that's where we
the
are,
examples are going to be America.
this concentration of people that eat fake food is heavy in America. So there are people alive today who, since birth, have been drinking baby powdered formula or fake formula. They didn't drink breast milk. They grew up into a kid eating hot Cheetos all day and soda. And they're an adult, you know, eating the same things, eating food out of packages, eating fruits without seeds in it. Can you technically call that person a human? Because by definition of what the original human was, they were eating real food. You are what you eat. So we got a lot of people walking around who I think aren't even organic human bodies, because how could you be if you're not consuming real food?
I mean, they say you are what you eat, right?
Right.
So if you're not consuming real food, then you're just constantly taking in synthetic products that you don't know. Most people don't even read the labels. Do you even know the percentage of Americans that cook at home, like home cooked foods?
Not off the top of my head. I can.
I know it's definitely a very small percentage.
Well, actually, I think that's why people get so hyped about Thanksgiving, because that's like the first home cooked meal they probably had all year. And I'm not speaking from a place where I'm putting everyone down, like I don't do this too. Like I'm on my journey too, so definitely not speaking from like a high horse over here. But just speaking frankly, there's a lot of hot Cheetos and Hot Pocket and marshmallow bodies walking around here. You know, people who.
But do you blame those people, or like do they know better and just choose to eat unhealthy
Well-
foods, or the healthy foods are not, they're not accessible?
Well, let's keep it real, because
Because I know
Even-
healthy foods are expensive here in America.
It's expensive.
Anything organic or naturally grown is like triple or quadruple the price.
it's expensive if you don't have time to cook. But let me just be real right here. Even before I knew all this information, even before everyone knows extensively how dangerous this food is, you are still aware that there is food that is healthy to eat, and there is food that is not healthy to eat.
Yeah.
You are aware that it's not healthy to drink a soda every day. It doesn't mean that you don't not do it, but you are aware that it's not healthy, and it's not affecting you right now per se, but actually it is. It's affecting you in ways where you're just not noticing, probably, you know. But it's definitely a willful ignorance, even when you're not completely aware of these things. So
But do you blame those people? Because living in America,
it's
you
a
have
culture here.
you have to have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people don't have the time to look up where to get healthy foods, because America is not like the rest of the world where you could just go out your door and you could see a mango tree or an orange tree, or you could just see fruits that you could take into your house, wash and eat
That's
straight up for
that's-
free.
That's a very good point.
But in America, there are corner stores on every block.
Mhm.
Then every block, where you could buy orange soda, mango juice from concentrates instead of the real foods.
yeah. And this,
So it has to do with the environment.
and this isn't something that you learn in school as well. This isn't like important life skills 101 that you learn in school. They don't
No.
really focus on these kind of things. It's kind of like you can eat healthy if you want to be like super buff or whatever, but
think-
if that's not your goal, then you don't have to really worry about what you eat.
I think you don't learn it in school. You learn it mostly. How I learned it is by traveling, as I've been to other countries apart from America, and in most countries outside of America, you see that the eating habits are different.
Mm-hmm.
The obesity rate is very low, is minimal. In America, is about what, 70%? Is a really high number. And they do more physical activity. Get me? They're outside all day. They come into the house to wine and dine and sleep. But America, you're practically indoors every time.
And
You're either at home, walk to your car, you get me? Go to work for the most part. I mean, people still get their exercise now and then, but you have to consciously get into the healthy lifestyle in America. While in other countries, the healthy lifestyle is the regular lifestyle. You don't have to get into it. You're born in it. You see the difference I'm trying to point at?
That's a good point. I just thought of something to say, but I can't remember it.
It happens.
But yeah, like I was gonna connect that back to thinking for a second.
Yeah, so I don't completely blame the people for having unhealthy lifestyles. You get me? It's not like I'm judging, but you could just see it. It's all over America, and what you eat directly affects how you physically look, how you think. You get me? Whether you're happy or you're sad, it directly links to that.
No, I just remember my point. You're just too busy, and that's by design, of course. That's by design, of course. You're too busy to make these connections. You're too busy to make the connection of why you feel tired and why you have this disease and why all these things are piling up and why you having all these health problems and you feel stressed out and all these other symptoms. You're not able to stop and really make the connections as to why these things are happening, because you have to, like, you if you sit down for 2 seconds, you're behind on a bill. So
Facts.
you definitely don't have time to cook organic home cooked meals 20 like all the time constantly, unless you just really have your life together. Like, I've been aware of this information for a few years now, and I have yet to completely alter my diet, so to speak. Of course, it's going to happen in baby steps. Like, this is extremely difficult to really just stop eating bad food, because firstly, you're addicted to the bad food. They put stuff in it to make it highly addictive. They put it all around you. You can't help but see it. You're going to get hungry somewhere. And that hunger makes you go to McDonald's because you don't want to wait to cook food.
It's very convenient.
And you're hungry, you're busy.
That drive-thru.
You're gonna end up at Whataburger. Again. And it's just gonna, and then once you eat it once, like we were doing really well.
Or Wendy's.
Yeah, but we were doing
Wendy's
really well.
is bougie,
Like,
but it's the same thing.
no, we were doing really well not eating any fast food and being on our diet, and then we kind of got lazy, and like the first time we broke that, like since then it's been like a downward spiral, like. But it's just hard. The food is extremely addictive. That synthetic sugar and that synthetic salt is extremely addictive. That's why it comes in pairs.
Facts.
Is when things break down in your body can't tell the difference between meth and a chocolate bar.
True.
It can't tell the difference between water and a steak. But when it breaks down, it's a chemical. It's some molecules. It's some atoms connected together, just like everything else.
Yeah,
So,
because I see a lot of stigma behind people who like the coke heads. You get me? People who are high on cocaine every time, but you're pretty much doing the same thing with that soda. Your body doesn't know the difference between a drug and food. It's the same thing. That's why in most countries, the drug and food administrations are always under the same ministry. It's always the same organization handling food and drugs. That's because your body cannot tell the difference. You are what you eat. Even in the Bible, it says your food is thy medicine. So there's no difference between your food and your drugs. Your food is supposed to heal you. That's just how I see it. And
no, that's 100% true. And you actually, when you brought up Food and Drug Administration, I remember to point out that it's the case with a lot of these homeopathic or allopathic therapies. You'll hear about it. It sounds good, and then you'll Google it, and you'll find some articles saying, "Oh yeah, but did you know colloidal silver will make you turn blue?" And it's like, then that's the headline, but then it explains in the article that that is only the case if it's ionic silver, which is not the same thing as colloidal silver, which is 100% safe. It's the only reason why they discredit this, or they might discredit the 1 minute cure hydrogen peroxide therapy, is because it cannot be patented. It cannot be monopolized. So yes, it's very effective, but it's not fit for consumerism. It's not fit for capitalism.
Yeah.
So,
and you just spoke about silver. Now a lot of people might say, "Are you crazy? What are you talking about? Are we supposed to now eat silver or drink silver?" People don't know that there's other minerals and vitamins.
Metals.
Because the health education is so poor, not just here in America. I see that worldwide. Health education is so poor.
Yeah.
All we know is vitamin A and B and C, and that's it. You don't know that your body needs silver, your body needs zinc, your body needs potassium, your body needs calcium, and a lot of other minerals.
Your body uses silver. Your body uses gold. Your body uses metals. Metal is the same thing.
Those are in the foods we eat.
Yeah, naturally.
You find zinc, potassium, silver, and natural copper, and you find them in bell peppers and apples and just in different fruits you eat. Watermelon. It's all there for you to consume, but you don't even know the content of those fruits. So you don't even know that those fruits are good for you. You'd rather just drink down a soda. Well, it's orange soda. It tastes like orange, don't it?
Right.
And it's really sweet, so it's really addictive.
And a lot of people are actually chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
And unaware of it. If
all,
your lips are dry, you are dehydrated.
Yeah, all the boxed, all the canned drinks dehydrate you. Every soda dehydrates you. Yeah. You're drinking liquid, but it's actually taking the water out of your body. And once water is out of your body, you're not the same you. Because your body is over 70% water.
It's supposed to be.
Yes. So the content of what you eat should be 70% liquid. Matter of fact, to go further, your brain is over 90% liquid. So you, like, if you held your brain, you can't hold it with your two hands. You get me? You'll be struggling with it because it might pour over. Because the brain is over 90% liquid. So you should eat those fruits, and your food in general should be over 70% liquid. But can we say that we eat 70%, like we drink 70% liquid every day? 70% of all our food intake.
No.
We can't say that. So I would say a very high population, you get me? A very high percentage of the population is dehydrated. You get me? I thought I wasn't dehydrated till I stepped on the scale. I was 49% water. You get me? I was that for a long time. I had no clue. I thought I was drinking the right amount of water and all that. But I was 49%. Nowhere close to 70.
Yep, and I was dehydrated too, and it doesn't get fixed in a day. Like, I think we kind of panicked and we consciously like tried to drink a lot more water for like 3 days, and then it went up
months.
by like 0.5%.
Yeah,
so
mine went up by 1%, and I've been drinking water for a week.
So it's definitely something that you have to adapt as a lifestyle, because either way you have a lifestyle. Like, don't think that this is something that's unnecessary. No, it's just, you have to get used to change. But once you get used to it, it becomes your regular lifestyle. Just
True.
like your regular lifestyle now might be to, eat frozen dinners or
yeah,
or whatever.
You're right.
So,
Yeah, it should definitely be a lifestyle. I agree with you 100%. Because if you don't make it a lifestyle, you're gonna go back to your regular lifestyle, which is eating 70% solid food instead of 70% water. It has to be a conscious effort that you just have to make that conscious choice.
I mean, yeah, we're essentially talking about reprogramming your body, and that is no easy task. It's just like, when it's like a miracle when someone walks again after not being able to walk. it would be something of a miracle for you to successfully reprogram your body. Not saying it's impossible, but it's a very you deserve a medal for that. You know,
Yeah.
you should.
And that's another thing with new information. I think we should be ready to take in new information. They say you live and you learn. That means you cannot know it all. I don't care if you're 150 years old.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you live another day, you're supposed to learn that extra one day you got. You live and you learn. So, I mean, it happens to me personally in my life where some stuff I thought to be true the whole time, I stumble on some information that checks that. You get me? And then I find that, oh, I've been wrong for damn near 20 years. You get me? I low-key feel stupid. I feel dumb. But I have to accept that.
Mhm.
Yes, I was stupid for over 20 years for thinking this way. But thank God I'm not stupid no more. You get me?
Why would he say it's as harsh as being stupid? It's just
No, this is just a personal. You
Yeah.
get me? This is just a personal example. I'm not saying y'all stupid or you stupid. Like, I'm just honestly saying how I felt.
it's just
But I felt liberated at the same time that I stumbled upon that information.
oh yeah.
Then it just automatically scribbles the old crap, you get me, that was in my head, and then I just hold on to this new one.
But I think
You
the
get
feeling
me?
is like, you know, if I had known this sooner, how farther ahead could I be? But it's all right because
Yeah.
you know, I mean, everyone's on their own path. Everyone's on their
Exactly.
own journey.
It's just about change, you get me? It's not about being stupid or whatever. It's just about change.
Yeah.
As long as you're living, you're gonna learn and you're gonna change. When people say, oh, he has changed or she has changed, we used to know this guy or this chick, or you get me?
Mhm.
They used to be different. They were supposed to change. Everything's supposed to change. You get me?
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for everything.
It
You
changes.
get me?
It
When
changes.
I was 14, I don't think the same way as now. You get me? Like that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not the same me. I have changed. You get me? I can say that about myself and everyone who just has the time to let this information marinate.
But
When you
change-
look at your life, when you stumble upon new information, you automatically change to adapt to that.
But-
That's part of life. Everything changes. You
What-
can't be in college thinking like no high school guy. You get me? You've changed. You're not thinking like a college student.
Well, I was
when
gonna
you're
say
done-
that change
Go
is
ahead.
it's scary at first, but like what you were saying before, it's kind of like you have to like change. You have to go from change being scary to like you're kind of even like looking forward to. You're kind of hungry for it.
Yeah.
That's how you grow faster.
Yeah.
That's how you don't feel like you wasted your time because you're changing every day. So it's like you don't feel like you're wasting your time being stuck in some sort of dynamic for X amount of years because shoot, you changed like since an hour ago.
True.
And it's not like, you know, it's evolving. It's willing to let go of your ego that's not letting you take in information, that's not wanting things to be quote unquote uncomfortable.
Facts.
You have to adapt.
Facts.
Everything's changing and
That
adapting.
ego is something else. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That ego is something else. But you just gotta get rid of it before you could take in new information. You have to be a child inside. You get me? A child is like a sponge. You soak up that information.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how it is.
But actually, I want to connect all this back to Dr. Sebi as well because this, when you know about the alkaline acidic thing.
Look up Dr. Sebi, by the way, for those who don't know. Like,
Oh well, Dr. Sebi, he just from off the top of my head, he was a homeopathic doctor. He learned in Honduras, but a lot of it
was he a real doctor? Like, was he a
a
certified
real
doctor,
He was
or
a real
was
doctor.
he?
He was not. He was
I
not.
think he called himself a herbalist.
He's a herbalist, but he's also a doctor.
Yeah,
but,
people call him Dr. Sebi. Yeah, but
But I'm saying
not the traditional. You get me? Medical.
I would
doctor.
go to Dr. Sebi before I go to the hospital. You know.
Yeah, he
rest in
uses
peace.
natural medicine. He's a herbalist. So if you're into traditional medicine, which was the medicine the Asians used,
Yeah.
you get me? Those people didn't have no HIV or no, you get me?
No
Ebola or all that crap.
Well, a lot of people don't know that now. A lot of people don't investigate history outside of what they teach you in school because you feel satisfied with that. But then you realize they gave you a page out of a book with about 3 billion pages. They gave you about half a page.
Facts.
You know? So what they call alternative medicine is the original medicine. When you do research about medicine in general, something about 90 to 99% of it is synthesized from what is naturally found. So what does that mean? They take.
Can I interject something before we continue? They said father of medicine, Imhotep.
Imhotep.
If you look up Imhotep, he was the original father of medicine, and he used plants really to cure every disease he cured back in his day. That's what he used. That's what was his medicine. It was food, which was plants.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, notice they don't ever patent plants. That's why it took so long for them to legalize marijuana in little pockets here and there, because it cannot be patented. It's a plant. So what they do with medicine, the only reason why they synthesize it, which is i.e. making a copy of it, making a copy of it in a lab. So whatever they're giving to you, whatever would it be like, for instance, like H3N4. That H3N4, they found it in some cactus in Mexico, and the people were indigenously using that to reduce inflammation. So they're like, oh, okay, so we see that these people are using that to reduce inflammation. It was really effective. So what we're going to do, instead of using that actual plant, we're going to go to a lab and we're going to create H3N4 that looks exactly identical to the one in nature. But the thing about this is, what you have to realize is, if they artificially combine molecules, be it fake food, be it this medicine, it will not behave like the natural counterpart. It cannot behave like the natural. It's impossible, because nature itself did not make it. So anything that nature itself did not make was not meant to be made.
Yeah, once you tinker with nature, you never get the same results. You get a whole nother result entirely.
And so that's where the side effects come in. So yeah, this medicine might treat inflammation. If you use the original cactus it came from, you would be fine. Yeah. But now you're using that H3N4 from a lab, and yeah, it treated your inflammation, but it also gave you scurvy, and
you got 6 other problems to deal with now.
You started growing extra feet, and
you gotta go back to the same doctor to cure those 6 other problems.
Right.
That will create some 12 other problems, and
right.
You see the business that.
Yeah,
it's a good hustle though.
Yeah, it's effective, I guess, if you wanna. You wanna call it that.
It's a good hustle right there.
So about connecting it back to Dr. Sebi, and it really fits his premise of, essentially, you're just eliminating an overly acid body. You're balancing your body, which is not naturally 50-50, it's naturally 80-20, being heavy on the alkaline side. And so he realized that the acidity causes inflammation, and it causes mucus, and that's what leads to diseases. So he famously cured it's a lot of diseases, but things that Western medicine tells you is incurable, like AIDS and blindness, and just all kinds of stuff.
I did some research.
Cancer.
He cured all kinds of quote unquote impossible to cure diseases.
Impossible to cure diseases, and he wasn't respected as a doctor, because yes, he was respected by some people, the people around him, but he wasn't respected on a medical level. As well as other alternative medicines, they're not really respected on the scholarly level of medicine. It's that's why it's called alternative medicine. But it's also a problem that he wasn't formally taught in a university system. So they automatically, the whole rhetoric here is, if you don't have a degree, you don't know what you're talking about.
True.
So yeah, you can know everything but it doesn't matter because you didn't go to school and get a degree. And
if you don't have that receipt from that university, you ain't shit. Really.
So this follows his model. If you implement it like this, I haven't tried it yet, but if I tried it, I would implement this 1 minute cure method. So it's pretty much you're just drinking water with the hydrogen peroxide in it, and I would incorporate it with the alkaline diet as well. And with that, you would see
And some
a lot of results.
exercise.
And
Move
exercise,
your
yeah,
body.
you know, it's a lifestyle change.
Move your body. Just exercise. Just get out there and walk.
And I haven't read the book yet. I'm just going off of what it is. So, maybe you could even do this for like a week, and just for like a cleansing purposes. Kind of.
Go find the book out there. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's out there. The information is out there. It's right. So that's why it's kind of like you're going back to like, who do you blame? Everyone has a smartphone, man. Everyone has access to the internet. Everyone has access to information, but you could choose to read about whatever whatever people do on the internet and wasting time, or you could actually do some like research for your life, like research about things that are actually going to help you and the people
Facts.
you care about.
Google is not your enemy. Google is your friend. Use it.
I think we pretty much covered the subject pretty well. So
Yup.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us talk about stuff. It's our first podcast. We hope to do a lot more in the future. Oh, this is Emma, by the way.
This Rorero Cha Cha.
Okay, and that's Taro, and he's doing the most, and it's cool. I like that.
Peace.